So a 9-point win here at Nowlan Park for the All-Ireland champions Limerick, a scoreline of 218 to 15 points. Tommy Walsh was alongside me. There was a spell there either side of half-time where Limerick scored 2-7. They've been Kilkenny'd, have Kilkenny. Is that a fair summation of what happened?
I think Limerick are the proof today why they're the All-Ireland champions. They're playing like a team that are just the shackles are gone now. They're just going out. They're not worrying about winning All-Irelands. They're not worrying about fulfilling their potential of the under-21 teams. They're like a team that we've done this and let's go do it again. But listen, if you get over all that side, I just can't. I was mesmerised by their hurling today. Like in tight corners, they can hit the ball long, then hit the ball short. Whatever way you want to play it, they will play you. They've big guys, they've small guys, and they're just so impressive here today.
Yeah, it feels like there's a good game management that champions have. Of that first half hour, there was literally nothing between the sides after half an hour, and they sort of found their way into the game. But the second they got that one chance, the second they got that Shane Dowling goal, that's when everything just clicked into gear. And as you say, the style of hurling that they played with over that 15-20 minute spell was pretty special.
Yes, and you can have all the, in that first half, even though it was tight, they were making the runs, I felt, and there was a few chances where they got in behind the defence, but the Kilkenny defenders just swarmed them. So there was always going to a time come where maybe the spare Kilkenny defender wasn't there and they had to break in for a goal. But their ability to play around with the ball, like Shane Dowling, we see him, it's their hurling. They must be doing serious hurling training. Usually this time of year it's a lot of running, a lot of physical work, a lot of gym work. But I suppose now with the AstroTurf pitches and the lights and all that, they can do a lot more hurling. But they were playing as if it was September.
It's not September though, it's the middle of February, and people are going to look at this result and look at the way they've started this league campaign, 3 wins from 3, and think that Limerick and maybe are deservedly favourites to go and win the All-Ireland again. Is it possible to read into how that sort of performance translates into what happens come the summer and come a Munster round robin and the All-Ireland series?
I think the main thing from John Kiley's point of view is just to keep hammering into these guys. It's not always going to be like this. There's going to times come where you're going to be knocked back over the line or thrown back into the goal where you're not the dominators, because they're definitely the dominators in the first 3 games. They're kind of setting out their stall, they're doing the bullying, and there's going to a time come where some team is going to put it up to them. And if that's a knockout championship, which is either an All-Ireland quarter-final or semi-final, will they have the answers on that day? And if John Kiley and Paul Kinnerk and that keep reminding them of that's not always going to be like this, well then they'll have a chance, because then when they do get hit, they're ready, and psychologically and physically.
There was a moment during that second half, I think, when Kilkenny were 14 points down, and I was scrolling through the record books, and I think 13 points was Brian Cody's biggest ever defeat as Kilkenny manager. They avoided that, they got it back to 9, but on a performance like that, what's he like in the dressing room? What's he like over the next couple of weeks? Is it, listen, it's February, it's league, we'll be back when it matters?
Yeah, absolutely not. No, he'll be looking at that. He won't say a whole lot, I'd imagine, in the dressing room, but he'll go back and he'll study the videotape, see where they can improve. The one area where I feel they can improve is the game is just moving on so much. And I felt Kilkenny, last year we saw them, the original traditional style when we were winning All-Irelands was get the ball, get in as fast as you can into the forwards, because there was great forwards in there, and do the damage. But it was a traditional game probably where it was mostly 15 versus 15. Now we have, looking at Limerick today, their midfielders and half forward line, they were going back deep anytime that they had to defend. So when the Kilkenny players got the ball, their instinct today, it looked like, was to get the ball, and it was good ball that was going in, diagonal ball. But the problem is Limerick were going back so much, they had too many bodies, and sometimes you just have to look across the field, and you mightn't be hitting the ball forward, but you could have 2 or 3 spare men over on the far side of the field, all on their own. Get it over to them and maybe there's a quick point. So I think for Kilkenny going forward, they're going to have to think of playing the ball up through the channels that bit more when you're playing teams like Limerick.
Why aren't they doing that now?
I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they haven't come across that. Since they probably played last summer, and in fairness to them, they're not just hitting hope and there hasn't been a whole lot of hurling went on. So like they haven't had any 15. Like you have guys playing Fitzgibbon Cup, you have guys in say in college. So
You have the Ballyhale lads to come back.
you have the Ballyhale lads. So they're not probably getting much time to practice this. Whereas Limerick are on the road doing this same type of a game for the last number of years. So I would say Kilkenny, when they get back into Nowlan Park, it's usually around March, and they get back doing hurling training. Then we will I hope that we will see him playing around with the ball that bit more.
You're not panicking just yet.
No, absolutely not, because I know how things change. Like we all remember Tipperary. I was at the Tipperary match the first day against Clare, and they were mesmerising, and then they went on and got beaten the following week by Limerick. So I don't think, that, but definitely I think the most important thing at this time of year is your philosophy and on hurling. So you can definitely embed that in a team and get them thinking the right way, because it doesn't just it's not like a light switch where you can just flick it on and off. So I would definitely say you have to embed the philosophy or the tactics of your team and try and get it into to practice going forward.
Everyone's so impressed then with Limerick, and we've seen, with the exception of Kilkenny over the last decade, 15 years, how hard it's been for teams to winter well after winning an All-Ireland. They rightly want to go and celebrate. From what you've seen though, they've wintered properly, they've enjoyed the celebrations, yet somehow they seem to have retained the fight.
They have, but you see, it's coming from their underage setup where they have the players. You look at most, say, teams when they're coming along, if they don't have their top 15 out, they're under pressure. We seen today Declan Hannon was on the bench, Tom Morrissey was on the bench, Garrod Hegarty was on the bench. There's a good few guys that you would, say if they're 100% fit that to be playing. But no, he didn't. He's given other guys a chance. Conor Boylan, Shane Dowling. And a few defenders, like, I don't know, Mike Casey I think is injured at the moment, but the two of us were very impressed with Sean Finn, a fullback. So straight away he knows that he has if something was to happen, Mike Casey in Championship, he has a steady replacement to go in. So the worrying thing for other teams, I suppose, John Kiley is finding more players.
Yeah, Keane Lynch and Declan Hannon to come back into that team.
Keane Lynch as well, yes, absolutely. The hurler of the year.
Yeah. You're a little bit worried, I can tell. Tommy, great stuff. A little bit worried or a little bit cold. It's starting to lash down here at Nowlan Park. Great stuff as always.